Hi guys, how are you today? Nice to hear that. I'm also good. Thank you. I want to start today's lesson by showing you some expressions from a well-known story, Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Okay, let's start. No, I'm not going to read the whole story. We're just focusing on the expressions and see where they lead us. Let's start with the first one. Someone's been eating my porridge and it's all gone, cried Baby Bear. Someone's been sitting in my chair and it's broken, cried Baby Bear. When they got upstairs to the bedroom, Daddy Bear growled, someone's been sleeping in my bed. Someone's been sleeping in my bed too, said Mummy Bear. Someone's been sleeping in my bed and she's still there. So, what can we say about these expressions? Baby Bear is upset because his dinner is gone and somebody's sleeping in his bed. Let's recall the story. Mommy Bear set the dinner table, but because Baby Bear wasn't hungry or the porridge was too hot, they went for a walk before eating the dinner. And in the meantime, a girl named Goldilocks got lost in the forest, found the Bear family's house, went inside, ate the porridge, and went to sleep in Baby Bear's bed. Good. So, and what does Baby Bear say? Someone's been sleeping in my bed and she's still there. Let's focus on this tense. What can we say about it? If we remember this story again, something happened in the past while they were on a walk, and this something is still going on in the present. They're now standing in their bedroom and Goldilocks is in Baby Bear's bed. So this tense is the present perfect continuous tense. It's a very special tense in terms of time because it connects the past and the present. Good. Let's take a closer look at it. The present perfect continuous talks about an action that started in the past and it's still continuing now, or something started in the past and it ended recently. I will give examples for it. It connects both the past and the present. As in these two expressions, somebody has been sleeping in my bed and she's still there. It happened in the past and it's still continuing now. Has been sleeping, she's still there. Somebody has been eating my porridge and it's all gone. Has been eating because it happened in the past while they were on a walk in the forest. I'm sorry. Okay, and it's all gone. It's finished recently. Good. Now let's take a look at when to use the present perfect tense. Like said before, when something started and it's still going on, it continues. I have been working on this project since 6 months. I'm still working on it. She's very tired. She has been sleeping all day. Maybe she had a rough day. She had a very intense exercise. She's very tired. She's been sleeping all day and she's still sleeping. Something that has started and finished recently. I've been waiting for you. What can we say about that? Let's say I'm sitting in a cafe waiting for you, waiting for a friend. I've been waiting and waiting and waiting. And now they show up and I say, I've been waiting for you. Where have you been? So it ended recently. Or she's been calling her grandma for hours. She's been calling and calling and calling. And then grandma picks up the phone and she says, I've been calling you for hours. Where have you been? The situation ended when grandma picks up the phone. Or we use it in common expressions Like, I've been exercising for hours. I've been exercising since 3 p.m. For expresses a period of time, and since expresses a point of time, like since 3 p.m., since 5 p.m., since this morning. It has been raining all day. All day expresses also a period of time. Or we can say she's been watching TV a lot recently or lately. It expresses a short time before now. Okay, let's take a look at the structure, how to form sentences in the present perfect continuous. First, let's look at the positive form. We have the subject plus have been plus verb plus ing. They've been working here since yesterday. The subject, have been, the verb work plus ing. He's been grieving since his cat passed away. He is the subject, have been, has been in this case, but I will explain it to you later. Grieving since his cat passed away. She's been crying since her boyfriend left her 2 months ago. Now the negative form. First, it's the subject plus haven't been plus verb plus ing. I haven't been studying all day. I took a break. It hasn't been raining all day, but the grass is all wet. She hasn't been performing very well at the concert. So as you can see, she is the subject, hasn't been, plus verb plus ing. She hasn't been performing very well at the concert. Now the question form. It begins with have plus subject plus been plus verb and ing. Have you been watching the new series on Netflix? Has she been attending the webinar all day? Have we been downloading the PDF documents? Or if you wanted to add a question verb like where, why, or when, you have to put it in front of the have. Let's use the first example. When have you been watching the new series on Netflix? Or why have you been watching the new series on Netflix? Or where have you been watching the new series on Netflix? It's important that you put the question word in front of have. Okay, now I've made also an example just using the verb live in the positive, negative, and question form so that we can compare it together. First, the positive. I have been living. Negative. I haven't been living. Question. Have I been living? You have been living. You haven't been living. Have you been living? He, she, it has been living. Have changes into has when we use he, she, it. He, she, it hasn't been living in the negative form. Has he, she, or it been living? We have been living. We haven't been living. Have we been living in the question form? They have been living. They haven't been living. Have they been living in the question form? Is that okay? Good. Now, I want to talk with you about the verbs. There are two kinds of verbs. The first one are dynamic verbs. They're like action verbs, like when physical action is involved, like run, eat, walk, talk, sing, dance, okay? They're called dynamic verbs. They are like action verbs. For example, work, drink, eat, run, talk. And there are also stative verbs. In stative verbs, there are no actions involved. It's a state of mind or a state of being. Let's look at the examples. Stative verbs, they describe a state of being. They don't involve physical action, like think, believe, desire, doubt, or they describe a state of mind. Hate, love, doubt. Oh, I already said doubt before. Okay, good. So dynamic verbs are action verbs, involve physical action. Stative verbs describe a state of being or mind and don't involve physical action. This is very important because now we are looking at some exceptions, because you cannot use stative verbs in the present perfect continuous form or any other continuous form. Let's see what not to do. Here are a few example sentences. I have been thinking about you the whole day. Is this correct? Let's look at the verb think. Think is a stative verb, so we cannot use this verb in this tense. This is wrong. We have to say, I have thought about you the whole day. We just use the present perfect to express this feeling. He has been loving her his whole life. Love, to love, is a stative verb, so we cannot use it in this tense in the present perfect continuous. This is also wrong. This is right. He has loved her his whole life. Good. Now another one. The students have not been understanding this lesson. To understand is also a stative verb. So we cannot say have not been understanding this lesson. We have to say the students have not understood this lesson. I hope that's not the case for you. Good. So now I want to talk about constructions. Let's see. I have been running. It's totally right to say that, but when we talk with our friends in conversations, we don't say I have been running. We just take out the H and A. We just say I've been running. We contract. We put those words together. I and the rest of the have, we put them together and it changes into I've. I've been running. Now the negative form, I have not been running. We take out the O and put those words together. So we have haven't. I haven't been running. So let's look at the others. You have been running. You have changes into you've. You've been. We have changes into we've been. They have changes into they've been. You've been in the negative form becomes you haven't been. We've been in the negative form becomes we haven't been. They've been in the negative form becomes they haven't been. And the same goes for has. He, she, it has. We take the H and A away from the has and put the S together with he. Put the apostrophe there. Of course, I forgot about the apostrophe. We put the apostrophe in front of the last letter where we took the others away. So he has becomes he's been running. She has becomes she's been. It has becomes it's been running. So in the negative form, it becomes he hasn't been, she hasn't been, and it hasn't been. Okay? So now let's look at spelling changes. These are also very important for our verbs. Most verbs, like think, find, eat, you're adding an ing behind it. Think changes into thinking, find changes into finding, and eat changes into eating. Now, verbs which end with E. Bake, use, produce, live. And it's a soundless E. So We are dropping the E and adding an ing. Bake changes into baking. Use changes into using. Produce changes into producing. Like changes into liking. Verbs ending with I and E. Die, tie, lie. We change the IE into Y and add the ing. Die changes into dying. Tie changes into tying. Lie changes into lying. Now, verbs ending with CVC. Consonant, vowel, consonant. But we are looking from